Hi, and welcome to Biomechanoid Blues. I'm Andy Popovic. This is my video blog. It goes along with my regular blog, which you can find at biomechanoidblues.wordpress.com. You can see the details down in the description. And this is going to be a break from the previous project, which shall not be named because it will add to the running time of this particular video. Reason I'm breaking into to this, aside from the fact that I've got to write the story that goes with the project that shall not be named, is also that I've got an announcement and I want to talk about something related to it. The announcement is that I'm going to have a short story published in the upcoming theme anthology from Zombies Need Brains Incorporated called Derelict. This is, as you can guess, an anthology about derelicts of various kinds, spacecraft, ships at sea, ghosts. And I'm very proud to say this is going to be the first book I'm included in that has a skeleton astronaut on it. And this is a very geeky kind of thing for me because, you know, I've been seeing skeleton astronauts on covers since I was growing up. I mean, the first one I honestly recognized was one on a James Hogan novel. But now I'm in one. And anytime I announce one of these projects, people ask me, hey, this is great. How do I help out? You know, what should I do? So I'm going to actually give you a few tips for helping out the author, artist, you know, anyone who has a creative side that they're looking to not only promote to other folks and get other people more interested in, but if they are making money from it, hopefully, you know, get some extra income in. Tip number 1. Support them and understand them. I think that's the biggest thing is that anytime you're doing something creative, unless you were doing it for a company, it's going to be freelance work. It's going to be a lot of time on their own or fiddling with camera equipment or doing a bunch of things that won't see an immediate return. So supporting them just in small areas during the process helps. What do you do when something gets published? Well, first off, and this is sort of the second thing, pre-order. If you can pre-order anything, especially from, you know, either the company direct, if it's a small press company, or through your favorite outlets, that is always helpful. Pre-orders are a very, very good way of not only showing, you know, your local creative that, you know, you support them, but also making sure that they've got locked-in sales. Next thing that I'm going to say is probably one you've heard quite a bit, and if you've been on any of my social media, you've seen it. But I'm going to say this is rule number 3, and that is read, review, and recommend. So reading it, of course, is, you know, the big thing. You know, pre-order it, get a copy of it, read it, enjoy it. The one thing I really love about theme anthologies is they give you a chance to see how a bunch of different authors take on a specific theme, and you can go looking for additional work of theirs. Most theme anthologies will have anchor authors that are, you know, fairly well known and published, but they also act as a good gateway for folks like me who are really just trying to get their names out there and become recognized as sort of a more knowledgeable commodity there. So for authors, that's the big thing. And to cut in for other creatives, if you're trying to support a photographer, go to their Patreon there. If you're trying to support a musician, get their music. Get physical copies and things like that. Everyone has a means that demonstrates, hey, we're doing well on this. For your favorite online Twitch streamers, it's subscriptions. So if you really want to support that person who's doing a really great role-playing experience there, think about subscribing to them. YouTubers, yeah, take a look at them. Get something out of their Etsy shop. But again, this is a chance for you to make a very, very tangible, way of showing your support. The second part, rate, is key, especially with the publishing industry the way it is these days. So Amazon will recommend books to folks based on their buying history, but only if those books have gotten a certain number of reviews. So these can be good reviews, they can be absolutely horrible reviews. Hopefully they're not absolutely horrible reviews. But once a book reaches 50 reviews on Amazon or a certain number on Goodreads, for example, the exposure goes up. So you want to, be sure that you rate this. Even if you didn't like it, take a moment to say, hey, this anthology wasn't for me. That still brings it up in the algorithm. It's the same that holds true for any time you look at a YouTube video, etc. Everything's run by algorithms these days. And the more people come in and say, yes, I have purchased this product and this is how I feel about it, the more the algorithm will have data to say, all right, well, I've got a good set over here that I think that this product is going to interest the following people, but maybe not so much these other people. And then the last thing is recommend. And that is the biggest thing I can say, is that personal recommendations mean a lot. Recommend it on your social media. Recommend it to your friends. If you know folks who write reviews for, even small magazines, they don't have to be Locus or Publishers Weekly, recommend they review this. Recommend the book to your local library for them to pick up copies there. Library copies are still copies sold, and the more of those that get into circulation, the more that people will say, oh, maybe I want a copy of this for myself, and be able to get it other folks. So recommend the work to everyone. Lastly, folks always seem to ask me, well, where can I get your stuff? First, I do have a link down below that has my current works and where they are available. Do check out the authors' pages, their blogs, etc. But this is a chance for you to be able to then go and get other things from that specific author, especially if they, don't necessarily have novels out there in the world. For me in specific, what have I been in? Well, right now, my main place you can find my works is really through the different theme anthologies that ZNB has put out. My first publication was in Alien Artifacts, and this was a real thrill for me to actually finally see something I had written in print after, frankly, over a decade of not really submitting any place. The second place I came into was The Death of All Things. This honestly was one of my favorite experiences as a writer and part of a collaborative. I got to get editorial notes from Kat Richardson of the Grey Walker series, and from Laura Ann Gilman, who has written so much. But they were amazing editors. I learned so much from that. The next place that I showed up was in Portals. And this anthology taught me essentially to not discard a seemingly out there idea. If there's one thing I can say to anyone is don't caution yourself saying, oh man, nobody's going to go for something this crazy. Go for the crazy. Crazy means something unique, personal to you, and that other people probably haven't seen before. And that's what these anthologies are really looking for. Something that folks haven't seen that matches with what this is about, but in an unusual way. And of course, the last one that I'm in from ZNB is, well, is my skeletal astronaut one. So do check that out. That's going to be coming out this summer. Again, pre-order. My alter ego, AJ Harris, who tends to write, spicier romance stuff, has been in one anthology at this point. Hopefully more. But when AJ starts getting a bit more work under their belt, then I'll start to do a video on that, because that's a different experience in a lot of ways, both writing and promoting than what I'm doing here. So that's it for me this time. Again, check down in the description, and you'll be able to find my works there. Do support ZNB and other small press places as well. Small presses are a great way for voices like mine and people who may have been excluded from other places to get heard. So do check them out. Anyway, that's enough soapboxing from me. Thanks again. Take care, and I'll talk to you all soon.